I've avoided leca because I hear a lot about adjusting pH, etc. Is it all necessary, or can I just use water or nutrient solution? You are not alone in this. A lot of people get intimidated by everything that we hear about growing your plants in leca, semi-hydroponics, pH, EC, and all those really technical things. And I was definitely one of those people until I decided to just dip my toe into it. Now, this answer is probably not going to be one that you're going to be very happy with, because it's going to be laced with a lot of caveats, because there are lots of different things that determine how you actually make up your nutrient solution and how your plants survive. So, do you have to adjust the pH all the time? Simple answer is no, you don't have to, but you may. Let me explain further. I live in Melbourne, Australia. Our water here is absolutely fantastic. pH is great. Total dissolved solids are minimum. It's beautiful. This is the nutrient solution that I use. It's called Growth Technology Foliage Focus. It's a single bottle nutrient solution. When I get the water from my tap and I put this Growth Technology Foliage Focus in there, I test the pH, it's within the optimal range. And this is exactly what's been happening from the time I started growing my plants in leca. So when I'm just using Growth Technology Foliage Focus in my solution, I know I don't need to check the pH because it is always the same, always exactly where I need it to be. But if I put other things like silica in my solution, then of course that's going to change the pH. And at that point, I do need to check the pH and adjust it to get it to a level where it's not going to cause the plant to not be able to absorb the nutrients that it's going to be getting from that Growth Technology Foliage Focus. So it is entirely dependent. And then again, you don't really have to add all these things. You might not necessarily have to add silica. You might not need to add all these other things that are amendments, additions to your nutrient solution to enhance the growth of your plant. You can very well get by with just using a Growth Technology Foliage Focus or any other nutrient solution like you're using, like Dynagrow Foliage Pro, which is now I think Super Thrive Foliage Pro, and any others. You don't have to use this one. But of course, whatever it is you're using, check. I recommend you check the pH at least a few times just to know that you're within the right parameters and everything is going okay. And then after that, you probably don't need to. I check again when I move to a different house, for example, because I know that that water is different. So I say no, you don't have to check consistently and you don't have to bother with all this pH stuff, but there are limits and there are particular situations in which you might want to. And I know a lot of people who actually grow their plants without ever checking the pH. So it just depends on how much of a risk taker you are, what you're willing to do, what you're willing to not do, and just sort of make stuff up as you go along as well. There's a lot to be said for your own experience and how you find you grow your plants. So I highly encourage you to check the pH, see how you get on, and then maybe drop it. It's up to you. I don't know. But I definitely don't check my pH all the time. And while we're on the subject of pH, people talk about the pH of the nutrient solution within the reservoir changing. When you've put your nutrient solution in your reservoir after a few days, that pH is going to change. And I'm of the opinion that, well, yes, of course it's going to change because you've got the plant taking up the nutrients from that solution. You've got evaporation going on. Things are changing. It's a living thing. So yeah, it is going to change. Do you then go in there with your pH up or down to try and adjust the pH within that reservoir? That's where I draw the line. That's where I think that doesn't make sense at all. And I think your plants are robust enough to be able to withstand those minimal pH changes within the reservoir. I don't know. I have not done any specific scientific tests to prove this. All I can say is what I have done in my own practice, and I certainly don't go checking the pH of the nutrient solution within my reservoir because I know I'm not going to do anything about it because that is just way too much.